Hey everybody, it's Harry from Slap by Daddy Barbecue, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to master barbecue so you can spread barbecue love. A lot of my viewers ask me to replicate Jeremy Yoder's experiment from Mad Scientist BBQ. He did a tallow paper wrap. Tallow is beef fat, so he put beef fat on the paper and he wrapped it, and he believed that he got a very good result. So I replicated that in my redo 1. In redo 2, I did a test against Jeremy's tallow paper against my hypothesis about putting it in a tallow mop. So instead of using water, I mop the brisket with the beef tallow or beef fat. In this episode 3 that I'm doing, I'm going to be comparing the tallow paper, which is the control experiment that Jeremy did, against both tallow paper and mop. So we're going to compare the two to see if a tallow paper and mop combination is better than the tallow paper on its own. In case you're wondering why I'm using this ginormous knife, I'm doing the 30-day Dalstrong challenge. I've been using this 27-ounce, 12.5-inch chef knife called a Dalstrong Devastator for 30 days. So hopefully in this 30 days, I will use this knife and I will not die. That's going to be in a separate video where I show you how I kept using this knife over 30 days in all kinds of cutting situations. So in this episode, you're wondering why I'm doing this. That's because I'm doing also a knife challenge as I'm cooking these briskets. Let's go ahead and season up the briskets before we put it in the pit. I'm going to put a little bit of this product here called our Juice Prep. You can get it from soupbase.com, and they have my co-packer. This is the way to supercharge your flavors. I'm not going to, try to, create a Texas-style S&P for this episode because I'm just comparing cooking techniques. So you have seen my 50 other videos where I show you different kinds of products to be used on a brisket. The emphasis of this episode is not on the products to be used on the brisket, but cooking the tallow paper brisket against a brisket that has the combination of tallow paper and tallow mop to see which one's better. I'm going to be using my First Place USA beef rub on this brisket. We're not testing product in this episode. We're just testing cooking technique. So use any product that you want at home. And apply a nice even layer of the product on the brisket. Sneak preview of some R&D products. I have a peach rub I'm making coming soon. Tallow mop, and this is just going to be tallow paper, and then we're going to wrap it so that this one will have the tallow mop and tallow paper. This will just be tallow paper, which is sort of the control sample. We have tallow paper and tallow mop. We have our tallow wrap against the one that is both tallow mop and tallow wrap. The one with the toothpick. Let's cut it up and see if we can see any differences or taste any differences. All right, the tallow paper on this one, pretty good. Point, flat. And this is the both tallow paper and tallow mop, also pretty good. So difference category, I'd say is a tie, so not much of a difference here. Okay, let's give it a taste test here on the tallow wrap. and then the point. Very good. Okay, let's do the one that has both. Very good. Okay, so easy test. The one that has the tallow mop and tallow wrap is the best. So we went through the progression of the cycle. In video 1, I did the one with Jeremy Yoder's recipe, which was tallow on the paper. So we call it the tallow wrap. Episode 2, we did the tallow wrap. We did it against the tallow mop. So I mopped the brisket. On this third one, we did a Jeremy's tallow paper. And then we did it against one that had both, the tallow mop and tallow paper. And hands down, the tallow mop and tallow paper works the best. So that is the winning recipe in this episode here. So no brainer. I think the tallow does work. It helps your brisket. So between cooking without the tallow, either mop or either on paper, you are gonna get a better result using the beef tallow. You've seen me use parquet. I spray, I can't believe it's not butter on my briskets. That's the reason why we spray a lot of water on briskets. A lot of people also spray the brisket with different mops, like they make their own beef mop with Worcestershire, with soy sauce, and a whole bunch of other ingredients. So mopping the brisket is very helpful. It keeps your brisket moist. If you cook a brisket that's not mopped versus a brisket that's mopped, I suspect regardless of whatever you mop it with, you will get a better brisket when you mop. So that's kind of my overall conclusion. The remaining test to be done is I need to shoot this out against the recipe against my competition, First Place USA recipe, where I wrap in foil. I use beef broth. I also use, I can't believe it's not butter on my brisket. And to see which recipe will bubble to the top. I mentioned to you guys, we're doing something called a bubble sort. We do A-B comparison. The winner of A-B goes to compare against C. The winner of that C goes against the D, and so on and so forth. So this is how you reach the pinnacle of perfection. For those of you who are watching and you are competitors out there, there is no shortcut to developing winning recipes. You try it at home, you practice, get your recipes perfected, you take it to a contest, have 24 strangers eat it in a double blind setting. If you win that day, that's a good recipe. If you don't win that day, you come home and you do what I do, hours and hours and hours of repetition and stubborn perseverance, because perseverance will get you to championship status. And that is true, either you are a competitor like me, or you're a backyard cook, you're running a restaurant, or you're a caterer. So all those techniques that I'm showing you work. The important thing about this video is not so much the cooking, it's the process of learning, the process of reaching the pinnacle of brisket perfection. Now, enough of me talking now. Mr. Beans, you want to try some? We'll give you a chance to try these briskets. See if you like the one that has both the tallow mop and tallow wrap. Ready for brisket, Beans? Scarfing it down. Okay. So his first bite was the tallow wrap. Second bite was my tallow wrap and tallow mop. So he liked the tallow wrap better, according to his limited scarfing down of one sample. Right, Beans? He's licking it, so he must really like it. Good job, Beans. You're a brisket dog. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my tallow paper versus tallow paper and mop test. Please like, subscribe, and share my video. Ask me any questions in the comments below and let everybody know about my channel. Huge shout out to my patrons who are sponsoring the brisket for these episodes so that you can get free content on YouTube. Until the next video, we will see ya.